Full set of tools. Checked. Full set of armor. Checked. Netherproof blocks. Checked. Secret password. Checked. Nether portal. Aww. Hey, and welcome back to 100% Minecraft, where I complete every single version of Minecraft before updating. We are still in Minecraft Alpha, and I'm gonna talk about that later, but look at this. This is kind of the first idea for part of the museum, or like the Tower of Progress, as I'm going to call it. At least for now, obviously. This is kind of how the buildings are going to look like. They're like kind of small exhibits, and this one is all about redstone. Basically, all of the redstone components are already here, with one exception. We have wooden pressure plates, stone buttons, stone pressure plates, and levers, as well as the redstone torch and the redstone dust, as well as like all of those items inside of here. There's like an iron door and as well as a wooden door as well. Those are like over there. There's still one component missing, which is TNT. I don't actually have any TNT. I barely have any sand. I feel like I should have enough garden powder, but that's something for later. I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put that one yet. Probably like kind of on the side, like behind some glass, because I really don't want it to blow up. Anyway, last time I kind of gave a small introduction into redstone, and most of the things that we have talked about have also been implemented here. But there's actually one more component I'm going to talk about like in a moment. It's not going to be like a full-on redstone tutorial. They are going to be more in the future. But since like we're just one component, I'm just gonna talk about it. But yeah, this is basically a password lock. If I check out like all of these redstone torches, they currently are all unlit. But if I activate them by, you know, for example, stepping on a pressure plate, turns it on, or like pressing the button, turns it on. And then I flip this lever. If the code that was entered is correct, then this door is going to open. If I unflip this one again, then all of the torches turn off again. And the correct combination is quite simple. It's just like everything on the left side, as well as the wooden pressure plate. And if I flip the lever now, then the door opens. And I can tell you guys, building with redstone, with like just redstone torches and redstone wire is possible, but it's certainly not clean. This is like the outside here. Every one of those buttons is basically a memory cell, like I've talked about this before, and from there on out there is like this redstone torch that basically pulls the signal out of there, and then I kind of use this to figure out if the code is correct. The more interesting component is over here. This is a falling edge detector. I'm gonna show you over there in a second, but basically whenever the lever is unflipped, which is like the falling edge, basically the signal turns off, it detects that and sends out a small pulse, which resets all of these wires over here. I have a small mock-up of that wire over here. This is the falling edge detector. Basically, we have the lever and then the signal gets inverted. Otherwise, you have a rising edge detector, basically checking if the signal starts. And basically what I do is I have like this redstone torch that turns on then, as well as this line of multiple, like 4 in total, redstone torches that also turn on and off, like after each other. There's like a little bit of delay, and after a little bit of delay there is going to be this signal. I can actually show you, like if I flip this lever here, nothing happens, but pay attention to the redstone torch. If I flip it again, then it turns on for just a brief moment. And again, I'm gonna go into like more details of those mechanics in the next redstone course, but that's not going to be today. Today I'm going back into the mines, mainly because I'm still missing a lot of stuff. And lucky for me, it only took like 5 minutes for me to find this. Wow. Both? I mean, thank you, slime, for detecting that spawner for me. Well, that actually crosses one thing off my list. Well, maybe even 2 things. Probably 2 things. Sounds like a zombie spawner. Well, that kind of worked out. Now to check the spawner. Some iron and a saddle. Okay, we kinda still are unlucky. I'm gonna say unlucky. I mean, it's quite lucky that we found like another spawner so close to the other one. I mean, we're still in the same cave. We're just like slightly lower down. But it would have been nice to get like an apple or like a golden apple even. Still though, 2 out of 3 spawners already. I only need like a skelly spawner and then I'm done with that. So yeah, we are still in the same version of Minecraft Alpha, even though I said last episode that I would probably update. And you may be asking, why? Well, the answer is because I didn't have slime balls yet. And that might sound really weird, but the reason is actually quite simple, and that is that spawning behavior changed between those 2 versions. And by that I mean, they just removed slime spawning for some reason. I don't know why. They will return sometime in beta, but until then I wouldn't have been able to get slime, so I was actually quite lucky that I checked that one before updating. Which means that I theoretically have all the items now that I need to update, but I'm actually going to change that slightly for me. Again, like I have like additional rules for the first update just because of pacing reasons, but I will still get every single item except for anything diamond related and the skeleton spawner before I update. I just have like this exception for the diamonds and the spawner just because it takes a lot of time and it's like nothing new, it's just more caving, and I've already been caving for a few hours and I've gotten really lucky with like my 2 spawners here, but I only ever found 5 diamonds. 4 of those we picked up on the camera together, the 5th one is still hidden in the caves for reasons for later, but unrelated to now. So I've checked my list and apparently there are only a few more things that we need outside of the diamond items. Those are a skeleton spawner, 2 music discs, apple and golden apple, and a cactus. The rest can all be crafted or otherwise like easily obtained. Those are like the only ones that require at least a little bit of work. So I thought, what better time than now to go, you know, on this very, very foggy day and explore a little bit. I mean, it's the perfect view. No, I'm just messing with you guys. So in old Minecraft, you just set like a button to like instantly change your render distance, and this is just the tiniest version that exists. Anyway, I'm gonna go this direction from spawn, so technically, okay, this is something really funny about old Minecraft. So north is actually this direction. Yeah, somebody didn't quite get how the sun works, but that's just kind of how it is. So we are currently going west, and I hope that I can find a cactus real quick. And you know what? I should have actually noticed it when looking at the sun. It's nighttime. Ah, yes, the sun. And for some reason I'm really shaky. Have I always been this shaky? Ah, must just be me. Anyway, exploration time. That's one nice overhang. This really reminded me of when I was a kid, and the first ever video that I watched of Minecraft, which was like after friends recommended the game to me. This was like before I used YouTube as excessively as I do today. Basically, I just googled Minecraft and found a video of someone building a boat elevator. Or like, technically they didn't build it, it was just built already. And I became really fascinated by that and wanted to try it myself, but I only had access to Minecraft Classic at the time, and water physics work quite differently in that game. Mainly in the sense that you can't actually have any waterfalls at all, which means that you also couldn't really use like a boat elevator like that. So I was promptly disappointed. One of the reasons why I'm not really bucket clutching here, but instead using like a proper waterfall, is mainly that there's actually a lot of fall damage that you still keep whenever you try to bucket clutch. For some reason you needed like 3 whole blocks of water to completely stop fall damage. I don't know why that was, and also I don't actually remember when exactly they changed it. I want to say around the adventure update, which is like the full release of Minecraft, but I truly don't remember. And it might be weird to pick up like all those flowers and stuff, but flowers are actually quite limited at the moment because, again, we don't have bones, so we can't make bone meal and we can't actually grow any more flowers. We only have those that we can actually pick up in the wild. At least for now. Ooh, more clay. I seriously don't get what's up with like all this clay. For some reason, like when I was a kid, It took me so many hours of like searching for me to find any clay, and now I'm just finding everything here. Should have brought more shovels. Like, I don't want to touch the clay that's close to spawn for a specific reason, but everything that's further away is fair game. So I started walking a little bit north, but sadly, yeah, night is falling. This is basically the point, like the torch over there is the point where I turned to the right. I still can't see any cactus. And I actually checked the wiki again. It definitely should have already been in this version. It's just the issue that there aren't biomes yet, so there isn't like a desert where we can just quickly check. We just have to check basically every single patch of sand. Well, then it's time to climb down again, and obviously I didn't really bring enough tools and didn't want to interrupt the wonderful time lapse. Found some. You can't hide from me. You know, this is actually a really nice region. You have like this massive lake. And around here, like, you have the cactus, obviously, but you also have like this mountain range here. Would have been a nice place for a town. Are you ready for the chunkiest of blocks ever? Look at them, they're massive. They're just so massive. I don't know why. Look at like the comparison. Like a crafting table here. Well, that's perfect. Now I have all the blocks that I need. Obviously, there's still a few missing, but this is one of the big ones. And it also means that I can stop exploring alpha chunks. I mentioned before I really don't want to have the most massive of worlds, right? If I can avoid it. I will probably go around this lake here just because I think I like this region. I will probably return here at some point, but otherwise I'm just gonna turn back. Unless my tired eyes over there are spotting some more clay. Am I seeing this right, or is it just like stone there? Womp womp. Just weird shadows. Interesting waterfalls at least. Also, nice overhangs. Like, I'm just getting ideas here. You know, a smart person would have brought a compass to find their way back. Anyway, time to dig down. Huh. Finally, we are seeing some bedrock. I mean, that's a first in this playthrough. It's actually really dangerous to dig at this level, but I'm kind of too lazy to count up right now. Mainly because, first of all, we are at the level where we can find some lava. The lava can be above us, and there are no indicators. It's not like in modern Minecraft where you have like these water or lava drops when there's like a liquid above you. So we kind of just have to hope and react in time. Or just find redstone instantly. Perfect. Well, it was a good choice to actually make this compass, because I'm definitely too far away already. Like, I am coming from this direction. Well, I do have a skeleton and a creeper here. Maybe I can also achieve another one of my goals if I can get like some light here for you guys. I had that creeper with 4 shots. Let's see if I can get the skeleton to also hit it. Come on. Ah, perfect. No, I'm out of arrows. No. Okay, I survived. This is 13. Did I get 13 twice? Ah, yes, obviously. You know, it's actually really hard to see your boat in the darkness. I completely missed that one. Seems like I'm exactly south of where I'm going. Do I see some light in the distance? Oh, yes. We're almost home. Ah, yes. Home, sweet home. By the way, if you're trying to do the same thing that I did with those creepers in modern Minecraft, like, skeletons are a lot smarter these days, and they try to avoid shooting creepers, at least like from what I gather. What did my hand do? I kinda broke my hand somehow. I don't know what I did. Hand, please. Huh. I guess it's broken now. Too bad. Now it's probably a good time to actually check our inventory. These are all of the items and blocks in the game that I've already gathered in some way, shape or form. As you can see, those are all the, I'm gonna call them like the blocks, which is like technically inaccurate, right? Like some of them aren't really blocks, some are more items. Here are all the tools and here are like all the rest of the items. There are some interesting things in here, like for example I still have sugarcane here twice. Technically it's not a block, it's more of an item, but doesn't actually matter here. There are some blocks in here that I can't actually get, like for example the first block would be grass. Obviously I cannot get that one in a chest, but I can have that one in the world, which is why it's fine. I don't actually know how I want to depict bedrock. I probably will just have like a minecart rail to bedrock and then you can look at it, because obviously I can't pick that one up either. But there's still some items that I just cannot get, mainly because like technically they're craftable, I just don't have the resources. Like for example a diamond block, I have like so few diamonds. And otherwise in this list there's only the jukebox I think that is missing, that is actually obtainable. Otherwise it's just like stuff that I could get with silk touch or never get at all, like for example the spawner or like water and lava blocks for example. Obviously I can get them in a bucket and I already have those buckets, but obviously they can't be like as a block form inside an inventory. But like the interesting things that are still missing are, for one, mushroom soup, mainly because I only have one singular red mushroom somewhere here. Like over here, I need to find some more. I don't have the jukebox, I do not have the second disc, I don't have cat, I only have 13. I also need both an apple and a golden apple. And basically just the tools, right? Like I don't have the gold or the diamonds here to actually make a full set of armor as well as the tools at the same time. The wooden pickaxe is obviously missing because we still have the original one. I kind of want to put that one in the museum. Just makes sense, you know. But we still have a few minutes left in this episode, so I kind of want to use them. First of all, I kind of want to just show this is like something I think is really funny. Look at that, it's a stack of 19 fishing rods and I have like a 20th one in my inventory. Yeah, fishing rods are completely useless. I have heard before that people thought that this is a stick in your inventory, but it's actually not. It's actually the fishing rod. It's just that it's flipped the wrong way around. If I slap, you can kind of see that it's actually a fishing rod. But yeah, there's like no right-click functionality. I can click as much as I want. Nothing's happening. For now, it's just a stackable item. They will add fishing, I think, in beta 1.2. Maybe I'm gonna have to check that one, but yeah, it's going to be a feature for later. I just think it's funny to have like a stack of fishing rods somewhere. And I will never touch them once they are in the museum, because obviously once I touch them in like a future version, they're probably going to unstack and that would not be funny anymore. Let's be honest. The other project I want to deal with today is transportation, mainly because my main project, the Tower of Progress as I'm still calling it, is over there, and this is my storage room. It's really annoying to travel between those two. It's not like a long walk, But currently, like, especially during nights, I would have to light even more up, and it's like annoying enough. Like, look at all those torches around here already. I would like to avoid that. Alternatively, I can use a boat and like drive around this whole island, but boats are actually quite slow. So instead, I kind of just want to have like a passage to the tower. That is going to be, first of all, a temporary build, but later on a more permanent one. For minecarts. Minecarts actually really interesting in the older versions because, well, we don't have booster tracks yet. So instead, the community found like other ways to actually boost their minecarts. I should also note that this is actually a mechanic I never used myself. I only saw like a lot of videos about it like back in the day because I didn't actually play Minecraft during the alpha days. I only started playing in survival in beta. Before then I played Minecraft Classic just because I didn't have an account or didn't buy the game yet. And by the time I actually got into minecarts and stuff, booster rates were already added and I think the launchers were completely patched out. In any case, so the basic concept is basically that you want to push a minecart into another. Let's see if I can actually figure this out. Let's continuous track here. So you have two tracks, two minecarts, and one of them basically waits at, for example, a corner. Let's see if I can get like a little bit of speed. So the idea is to basically push yourself into that minecart, and then the way the minecarts are clipping, the first minecart is going to basically push the second one, and vice versa, and you are building up a lot of speed that you can use to actually travel around. I'm just gonna add like a bunch of rails just in case this actually works first try. And we all know everything I build always works first try, you know? Okay, now give it a little push and get in, and as you can see, look at the speed we just built up. Right, there's like no reason why we should get that fast. But sadly, if I go back, you know, we can't even make it over that hill. It's okay though, let me push it back real quick, get in. There's an issue with that design, and that is like, for example, we are currently not in a corner, which means that we are just bumping into the minecart and it doesn't work. So if we want to build a system like that, then we would have to design something that works on both sides, preferably self-resetting. I'm actually not sure if redstone already interacts with rails. It seems to do so. Now the bigger question is, can I use pressure plates, which, you know, they're still crafted with like 3 planks here, but do minecarts actually touch those? Ah, not like this. I guess we can't make like an automatic network like that, at least for now. Okay, the question is, how do we do self-resetting boosters actually? Because we would have to go back somehow. Wait a second, can I just do this? Like if I remove this one over here, it's actually, no, that's actually the way I want it. We might need a little bit more space to actually give it a push. Like if I do it like this, then we can, I'm gonna go away just to make it a little bit easier on my rails here. So the idea is we are going to remove, do I want this ramp here? I think I don't want this ramp here. It's probably easier to not use that one. Like this, remove that one. Okay, I'm gonna put my minecart here, and in theory it should follow us a little bit, push us along, and then just self-reset. If I try this, and we're getting pushed, and the minecart returns and it stops at that block. That's perfect actually. Okay, that was actually a lot easier to figure out than I thought. I just knew that you kind of had to push the minecarts into each other. Huh, there's a cave here. And if I return, the issue actually with returning is that we are still going to be bumping into that minecart, but then we're getting pushed back. Okay, but I can deal with that. I can literally just do like the same kind of intersection that I had before. So I would say, okay, you go this way, but I can now just add like a lever here. You connect it, so like the return trip would be something like this. I just return over there. Let me also turn the minecart over here. Just like that. And that should actually be enough to have like an infinitely rotating minecart around here. Let's see. Obviously, we could just use a furnace minecart. That would probably be easier. But I feel like as long as we have the opportunity to do this mechanic, I'm gonna use that one, okay? I mean, look at how much speed we're just building up. And now, if I return, you know, everything just works. Yeah, that's perfect. Just a few of those boosters and everything is going to be fine. I feel like there are probably better designs, like people who actually had a bit of time to figure this out. And that could actually help me, but I feel like experimenting around with something like that is probably more fun. I will probably find a design. And the best thing is obviously that this is completely free. I don't need to constantly refill a minecart, even though that would probably be cleaner for later versions. But for now, I'm just gonna enjoy this. Now the last thing to figure out is actually how far this boost actually lasts. Okay, there was like a pig that actually ran into the minecart that slowed it down significantly. And it's not enough to actually continue, okay. Good to know. Obviously I want to just build like a bridge or something like that. I can't actually use the bridge word here, like for obvious reasons, but like I can build like a highway. Let's call it a highway and just let the minecart run over those. Wow, rude pig. Yeah, I just want to avoid that. But I'm going to continue with all this minecart stuff in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be seeing you next time. Till then, have a good one, and bye-bye.